Wow, look at this. This is so beautiful to me, these beautiful trees. What's poppin', people? It's Dante. The inherent beauty of nature. I mean, it's just something worth photographing, honestly. I think when you spend a lot of time in nature, you become inspired creatively. I think you increase your lust for life generally when spending time alone under the trees with the crisp, cool breeze of this fall weather here in chilly Philly. So, yeah, what's poppin', people? It's Dante. Today we're under another day. We're under the clouds. Yeah, I can see little birds flying in the sky, and the streaks of the clouds, they look kind of weird. I'm gonna photograph that and yeah, just see what that will manifest to be in a photograph. You know, I feel as though ultimately what's fueling my creative process of photographing, of even making videos like this, writing, etc., is this spirit of play and life affirmation that creation gives me and provides me in my everyday life. And so what that means is when I'm photographing, I'm saying yes to life. When I'm documenting my life and my lifestyle through the GoPro, using the GoPro Mini 720p 30 FPS Super View, this essentially is another augmented way for me to increase my curiosity, for me to deeper understand my philosophy, and to appreciate the journey. You know, for me, making videos is a way for me to not only share my perspective, but it's a way for me to dive into my mind. And by thinking and speaking out loud, I'm essentially allowing myself to go deeper and deeper into my thoughts. And I treat it almost like a visual diary, similar to that of my photography. And yeah, I think that when I'm making videos and speaking out loud, I'm essentially using this GoPro as a tool for me to write out loud, if that makes sense. And so in the mornings, I've been going through some of my old videos that I've been making this past 2 years, which is crazy. I've made like 1.1K, like I'm almost at like 1,200 videos, it said on my YouTube channel. And I was looking at that like, what the hell? I didn't even realize that I've been creating this much. And that's simply due to the fact that I've disconnected from the outcome entirely, right? Like I've disconnected from the outcome of my photographs. I've disconnected from the outcome of me and an audience when it comes to making videos for YouTube or for my own website blog, right? Where I disabled the analytics, I don't look at them, I disable the likes, the comments, and whatever. And I put myself in my own bubble, in my own world. And this is important as an artist, because when you're influenced by the appreciation or applause of other people, or the approval or disapproval of others, it's gonna change the way that you create and do things. And so by remaining in this flow state of production each and every day, not only am I giving my life more meaning, but I'm allowing my true and authentic self to become the way that I photograph, the way that I live my everyday life, right? Where, you know, I'm basically embracing this philosophy of creation where the entire ethos has to do with the raw, the authentic, the uncut, the candid nature of making things, whether it's my practice with street photography and embracing the snapshot with my Ricoh GR3X here, or making videos with the GoPro and sort of just, you know, putting the camera super close to my face. You can see my blemishes, you can see whatever. Like, I just don't care anymore about the outcome. And I think this is a really empowering place to be as an artist. And so yeah, my simple suggestion and approach is to create more than you consume. And this is how I've been living my life for the past 2 years, where I'm basically remaining in this state of creation throughout the entirety of my day, right? There's not a waking moment where I'm not photographing or thinking of ways for me to share new ideas or new photographs. And yeah, I think when you let go, you know, where I've basically allowed myself to, to destroy myself, right? I've been destroying myself for 2 years purposely so that I can create anew. And I think this is a really pivotal moment in my process as an artist. And yeah, I think it's interesting to share that process. yeah, and so these are interesting. Actually, if you lower the exposure compensation, it's always more beautiful, I notice, with these kind of photos. So yeah, as you can see, I make lots of photos when I'm making pictures these days. I don't just take one and move. I try different angles. I put on the macro mode, I use P mode, single point autofocus, point and shoot. And so essentially, I'm just snapshotting my way through life, treating the creations that I make as a way for me to hopefully reveal my soul, my essence, how I view the world. Not necessarily approaching photography in this sort of documentary approach that I've done in the past, you know, where I believe that becomes a bit one-sided, where, you know, making pictures and telling stories with your photographs is always going to be the goal, I think, initially when you pick up a camera. It seems to be the sort of tried and true traditional approach. But I believe in order to push the boundaries of photography, I need to let go of the old ways that I've done things that have always worked for me and create a new and a more personal approach that is essentially providing me this longevity, right? Where my goal is to endlessly photograph. And I think if you stay true to one way of doing things for the entirety of your life, well, you're going to become stagnant and burnt out and bored of photography. And my goal is to increase my joy, to increase my curiosity. And so by remaining an amateur forever and sort of not being on the hunt for the next best photo and simply understanding that my next photo is my best photo, I'm in this sort of stream of becoming, this endless journey of learning and growing every single day as a child, right? And yeah, returning to this childlike state has been very empowering, as I have this endless sort of lust for life and joy within my creative process. And so I believe the philosophy of creation should, or is, for me, it is a way for me to not only give life deeper meaning, but to simply provide joy in my everyday life, where, you know, I simply enjoy speaking my mind. I enjoy documenting my life through a GoPro. I enjoy photographing. You know, this is something that ultimately is within my bones. And yeah, the philosophy of creation for me is all about the spirit of play and not taking things so seriously. And yeah, just enjoying the journey, I suppose. Got my staff. I'm the journeyman. There's a sculpture around here of the journeyer. I am the journeyer. I am the journeyer. That is me in the sculpture. Ah.